When I first applied, when I was first working here, I was here for about 6 months. And then I collected my mentor, Barbara, and we went on an induction together. And as you know, that the registration process, it can be quite a stressful situation to be in, because you're not sure of what's expected of you, and you've got a lot of expectations to meet, especially with the education criteria. But the AKA took away all the worry. They put us on an induction course, a part 1 and 2. The first part with our mentor, and then the second one was a session that was open to our mentor, but they just went through all the requirements, page by page, stage by stage, spoke about the references that we needed to do, spoke about the education criteria and what was expected. And so it was quite it was very effective way for the professional development, but it made every step easier. And that's what you really want, isn't it? That you want it to be as comfortable as possible, so that you can just focus on your teaching instead of worrying about collecting data. So it's really about just being yourself. It's about doing what you do, what you love, and just recording it. And so instead of doubling up on stuff, you just do what you do naturally. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed that. Barbara, my mentor was Barbara Dunn. And I actually met her through my last practicum. We did a 7-week practicum and we really got on well. And she was always pushing me, you know, to think about what I do, why I do, and how I do. And she was always emphasizing the quality instead of quantity. And so we had this open, honest relationship. We trusted each other, we supported each other, and we would be in contact. Even though she was off-site and I was here, we would contact each other through phone, through emails, through meeting, hanging out, having coffee, meeting in McDonald's, anything to keep the momentum going. Because a 2-year course, it's quite long, especially if you don't see the person every day. And she knew a little bit about my work ethics, she knew about my philosophies and things like that. But because I'm not every day, so it's really important to have this positive relationship and never let anything get in the way. And she really just encouraged me to put my best foot forward, to challenge myself, to look inside myself, not to just accept status quo, but to push and to keep pushing and to be proud of what I do. And I think a lot of her input and encouragement was because I was a male, and she really liked the different point of view, the different perspective that I could bring, and we really bonded. So I really enjoyed it. Barbara, what a fantastic opportunity she gave me, and it was such a good experience and a good relationship that I actually myself, I was inspired to become a mentor myself. So I've just finished a course a few weeks ago, just a course to become a mentor myself. So I'm looking forward to my first student, and hopefully I can give them as much positivity that I received and as much encouragement, especially as 2 years is a long journey. Sometimes in your darkest, deepest moments, you think, why am I doing this? But you know that the end of the tunnel, and you know the reason why, and the journey getting there, and it is a journey. It's never just a running race, it's an endurance. You have to take your time, you have to know why, and you attack it with as much passion as you can. And you don't let anything faze you. You just keep going, and you keep going. And you question yourself, you question your teaching, you question your motivations, and then you find out who you are, what kind of teacher you want to be. This is the most important thing to me. What kind of teacher do I want to be? And that's what I learned through my registration. And that's what my mentor helped me to develop within myself. What kind of teacher do I want to be? Am I there to collect money? Or am I there to enhance someone's life? Develop them, help the children grow, help them to see that they can do anything. And I enjoyed loved it. Here at Already, we work very closely, especially with the ESW, so we have a lot of outdoor agencies that come in, and we try to build relationships as much as possible. The teachers become first name basis with them. we talk with the parents, and we work with the networks, and we try to mix the two together to achieve the best possible outcome. When I started my certification process, Miss Jo, who was here, she was in her last year, and that was really helpful and really encouraging, because she could give me her experience of the journey and help me along the way. Just give me ideas and advice about where to go, what to do, how to do, and to just help me relax. And then we had a couple of support groups where we could meet up with some other training teachers around the way, and we just hang out, we just chat, share folders, have a look. We also went to a couple of PDs at the AKA head office, and we could chat with the other teachers. I really find it helpful to share and support. It's very important to have that support, especially because 2 years is quite long, and it's 24 months. And so therefore, you feel sometimes you're on this journey by yourself, but actually, when you share with other teachers, it's a great experience, because you all have the same passion, you have the same desire, and you all want to get to the end, but it's those gaps you have to fill. And you grow, you bond with each other, and you become much closer. And we have, now in South Auckland, we have this great camaraderie where we're always hanging out. We go out for meals, we go out for, breakfast, things like this. We have a group of teachers, and that we hang out with each other, and we just really support and encourage each other. When you speak to other teachers, we all do different things, but you can share that, and you can take from that, and put it in your kite. And then when you're ready, you open your kite and you share it with your families or your communities or your children or your own teachers, So we support each other like this. That's important, that community. And I feel with the AKA, I think because they have a high standard, I think you can share that quality, I've only been with, I've been with the AKA since 2009. In fact, my first practicum, when I went there, I'm not sure if it's enthusiasm, they said to me something and they hired me on the spot. And then so I signed up with the AKA, and I joined that way. So for the last 7 years, I've always had nothing but positive support or feedback from the AKA. I really enjoy my time, And yeah, I recommend it for anybody, especially males, because it's a new world. And especially when you see other parents, especially males. I've had good feedback from males, especially about their relationship with children. So I've had a male come up to me and say, "Are you Mr. Robert?" And he said, "My son said he's got a new daddy at kindy." Anyway, we had this conversation, but he thanked me for opening his eyes, because his son comes home and he said, "Mr. Robert cuts, he glitters, he glues, he dresses up." And now the dad puts aside time and he does this. So before it was just about what he wanted to do with his son, but now his son gets that hour at least every day, and they do whatever the son wants. They're cutting, they're gluing, they're doing all types of things. And when he shared that with me, I said to myself, that's what it's about. That's what it was that I want, this feeling, And it makes you feel, you've achieved something and you've given something. And there's this relationship, I don't know him, he doesn't know me, but yet we had that bond, which is his son, and it was just a fantastic feeling.